Patrik Laine is currently an unrestricted free agent. He hasn't been signed to any NHL team yet. Honestly, I think he's gonna go play in Europe and then sometime soon retire. It's kind of like how Andrei Markov retired. It wasn't because he was bad, it was just that he was too injured to play in the NHL, so he went back to Russia to play in the KHL. It's sad when you think about how good he was when he started and how injury after injury jeopardized his career. Among the teams that signed him who didn't know how to handle him properly. Let's take a look at the potential he had and how simple bad luck squandered it all. Patrik Laine was selected second overall by the Winnipeg Jets in the 2016 NHL draft. He signed his entry-level contract on July 3rd, 2016, and made his NHL debut in the season opener on October 13, 2016. He scored a goal and an assist in a 5-4 win against the Carolina Hurricanes. Laine scored his first hat trick on October 19th in a 5-4 win against the Toronto Maple Leafs. At 18 years and 183 days old, he was the youngest European to score at least twice in a game in NHL history. This was beaten by future Stanley Cup champion Jesperi Kotkaniemi on November 1st, 2018, when he was 18 years and 118 days old. Laine scored his second hat trick on October 8th, winning 8-2 against the Dallas Stars. On January 7th, 2017, Jake McCabe of the Buffalo Sabres hit Laine, giving him a concussion. He missed 8 games, but was somehow selected to participate in the 2017 NHL All-Star Game. Laine scored his third hat trick on Valentine's Day against the Dallas Stars, winning 5-2. On February 22nd, Laine scored his 30th goal, making him the franchise record holder for most goals in a rookie season. Laine finished the season with 36 goals, 28 assists for 64 points, which is the highest for a rookie since the relocation. He was second in voting for the Calder Memorial Trophy, losing to Austin Matthews, and was named to the NHL All-Rookie team. Laine scored his fourth hat trick on March 6, 2018, which led to Winnipeg's 3-0 win against the New York Rangers. By the way, this all happened before his 20th birthday. He finished his sophomore season as the runner-up for the Rocket Richard for the top goal scorer, losing to Alex Ovechkin. He scored his first NHL playoff goal on October 11, 2018 in Game 1 against the Minnesota Wild. Laine became the youngest player in Jets franchise history and the youngest Finnish player to score an NHL playoff goal at the age of 19 years and 357 days. Although Laine struggled to score at the beginning of the 2018-2019 season, Laine recorded his 5th career hat trick and a 4-2 win against the Florida Panthers at the 2018 NHL Global Series. On November 19th, Laine scored his 6th career hat trick and a 6-3 win against the Vancouver Canucks. On November 24th, Laine recorded 5 goals and an 8-4 win against the St. Louis Blues, becoming the first person since Johan Franzen and the 45th player to do so ever. He also did it in only 5 shots in the game. On November 29th, Laine scored his 100th goal, becoming the 4th youngest player to do so. The 2019-2020 season proved to be a resurgence for Laine, scoring a career high of 63 points in 68 games, which is a points per game of 0.93. Unfortunately, he injured his wrist early in the play-in round for the 2020 playoffs against the Calgary Flames. During the season opening game of the 2020-2021 season, Laine scored 3 goals and an assist, one of which was the game-winning goal against the Calgary Flames. Unfortunately, he was injured during practice a couple days later. On January 23rd, he was traded alongside Jack Roslovic to the Columbus Blue Jackets for Pierre-Luc Dubois and a 2022 third-round pick. On February 9th, Laine struggled defensively in a game against Carolina and got into a heated argument with an assistant coach, which led him to be benched for his behavior. During his first season with Columbus, he scored 10 goals and 11 assists in 45 games. Laine's time with the Blue Jackets was affected by injuries, causing him to miss many games. He fractured his collarbone in a game against the Toronto Maple Leafs on February 14th, 2023. In January 2024, it was announced that Laine joined the NHL Player Assistance Program. He said he needed to focus on his mental health and well-being. At the end of the 2023-2024 season, reports emerged that Patrik Laine was unhappy with the Blue Jackets and wanted a trade. On August 19th, 2024, Laine was traded to the Montreal Canadiens along with a second-round pick in 2026 in exchange for defenseman Jordan Harris. Since his usual jersey number, 29, is retired by the Canadiens in honor of Hall of Fame goaltender Ken Dryden, Laine decided to wear the number 92 as a member of the team. In a preseason game on October 28th against the Toronto Maple Leafs, he collided knee-to-knee with Leafs forward Cedric Padet and had to leave the game. Though there were early worries that he might be out for a while, it was later confirmed that Laine would not be needing surgery. However, he was still sidelined for 2 to 3 months during the 2024-2025 season to let his knee heal. After missing 24 games, he made his debut with the Canadiens on December 3rd against the New York Islanders, where he scored his first goal of the game in the second period. He scored goals in 3 of his first 4 games with the team. On December 17th, Laine achieved his first career hat trick as a member of the Canadiens against the Buffalo Sabres. He passed fellow Finnish player Mikko Rantanen for the 3rd most hat tricks by a Finnish-born NHL player, with a total of 11. He earned recognition in the NHL's weekly 3rd Star Awards for the period of December 22nd. Just 10 games after returning to play this season, Laine got injured again when he faced the Blue Jackets at the Nationwide Arena on December 23rd. However, he did not miss any more games and played for the Canadiens on December 28th against the Florida Panthers. After being out for 4 games due to a flu, he returned to the lineup on January 11th, 2025 against the Dallas Stars. A few days later, on January 14th, Laine reached his 400th NHL point by scoring his 10th goal of the season. This was also his first goal at even strength, as all his previous 9 goals have been power play goals. With this achievement, he became the 7th Finnish player to get 400 points in under 500 games. On January 23rd, he played his 500th NHL game against the Detroit Red Wings at Little Caesars Arena. 5 games into the 2025-2026 season, Laine injured his core muscles. After missing a week of games, the Canadiens announced that he had surgery for his injury. Unfortunately, he remained in injury reserve for the rest of the season. Now, what do we take from this? While Laine was an amazing player, and probably still is, I haven't seen him play since last October. I think that if he wasn't so made out of glass, he would have been close to Austin Matthews' level in goal scoring. I mean, he was in his year with the Winnipeg Jets. He was definitely up there. Yes, I understand that Matthews is also prone to injury, but not nearly as much as Laine. I think Patrik Laine's situation is a reality for a lot of hockey players. Hockey is arguably the most physically demanding sport, not counting combat sports. It's also one of the hardest to get into due to the cost of all the equipment. It's rare for hockey players to play in the AHL, let alone the NHL. The average retirement age for NHL players is about 29 years old. This is either due to said player not reaching expectations fast enough or getting injured too much. It may not seem like this, but elite long-lasting players like Crosby are protected by their teammates. And even with players like Crosby, he still gets injured quite a bit. It just happens. Laine obviously isn't the same level as Crosby, but he's more elite than the average NHL player. Laine's squandered potential may be because he's an elite goal scorer, so he gets targeted more. The truly unfortunate part of that is that he kept getting injured and he just couldn't recover last season. He's still an unrestricted free agent. No one has signed him yet. I mean, if he does get signed by another NHL team, I wouldn't be surprised. But if he doesn't, it's not the end of the world. There are other leagues he can play in. If that's the case, I would like to thank Patrik Laine for his time in the NHL. He was an amazing player, and he probably still is, and I thank him for the entertaining hockey that he's given us for the last couple of years. Anyways, if you liked the video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!